right. So I'm here with the man himself, Jason Ortiz. And Jason, dude, over the past 6 months, you have completely transformed yourself. Like, even when I look at your before and after, it's hard to believe the progress that you've made for yourself over the past 6 months. So, you know, share with the people here, like, what was life like? What was your fitness like before Alpha Body System? Like, what really inspired you to make the commitment here and join our community?
Um, okay, kind of a deep question, but yeah. So look, I mean, I was just definitely at a place where I have a lot of self-confidence in general, so I feel like I could believe I am gonna crack down one day, I'm gonna do it. I keep saying, all right, next day, tomorrow, or join the gym. I do make these micro steps to really get me in that place where I'm like, all right, just do the things that you know how to do. You did this before once in your life, get it going. But I mean, after a little while, you start to reflect a bit and you start to say, all right, well, it's been about 3 years since I keep telling myself the same thing. And, more and more
Yeah.
years kind of starts to pass by, and then I'm looking at the mirror and I'm saying, all right, well, now I'm really starting to look like something that I don't even remember me ever looking like. Um, so, I mean, the inspiration is just like, I mean, as soon as I heard about this or just like encountered and had that first conversation with you, it was just it's there's a huge part of me that's just like don't do it. It's too much. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be, but then at that point you're like, I can't continue to think that way. I have to sign up, I have to take it step by step and then see if this is gonna be the thing that works. And you never know going in. Um so so yeah, I mean it was just like, all right, at the point of just say yes, see what happens, get in there, put all your effort in there into it. You put all your effort into everything else, and take that chance. So I guess that's to answer your question in a very, very long answer.
Great, great. So it sounded like, for a couple years there, it was in the background. You wanted to take control of your health, get in better shape, really create the body you were proud of, and you kept telling yourself you were going to do it. But after so long, you realized you weren't making the progress that you're looking for, and you're like, okay, we need to find something that is going to move you in the right direction, right?
Exactly. I think what's really interesting is that I think many people know what it takes, or what to do in order to make it happen. And then there's some folks that like feel that they're already doing that, but they're not achieving those results.
Hmm.
So it's just a whole huge game changer when you're doing this with a community of people and when you're doing this like with your handheld. And I mean, I've had conversations with other people, and it's just like there's a reason why training wheels really do like they do exist. Like you need as much as we don't think we need them, and we're just like, no, we want to be that person that just hops on that bike and rides professionally and strong. That's our impatience. But like there is a process to that, and that process is in place for a reason. And I think it's very easy to forget that or not want to go through that.
Right.
People don't. Some people. I mean, some people say that they love learning, but I know a great amount of people who actually don't enjoy the process of learning. They enjoy having already learned, and this was definitely reminiscent of that for sure for me.
Mm, great. So, help us understand this. You've been in the program for 6 months now.
Yeah.
What results have you created for yourself so far?
So I mean, there was a time that like I feel, and this probably is closer to when I was like I don't know in high school, which is probably like I don't know maybe shit I don't know I'm almost 40 now, so that's like some time ago.
Mhm.
Um, And I used to be able to just kind of like what I saw in the mirror and say, all right, this is a good base. This is a great starting point. It's only gonna get better from here. And I feel like mentally I'm finally back at that. So I can see myself in the mirror and I see the level of potential where things can be taken towards. So it's exciting. I used to look in the mirror and then just sort of say, wow, so this is going to take a lot of work. Do I have the time for this, or am I cut out for this, or have these doubts. And now it's totally different. Now it's like, okay, this right here, this right here, okay, cool, got it. Let's get it going. So now I get to really get amplified of how much fun it is, the sculpting process, and getting into that and then seeing what I can how I can push that further.
Yeah. So in that time where you've, had that game plan and that clarity on what the right actions for you to take are, you're down, I think last time I checked, 13 pounds, right? You've built a ton of muscle. Your strength has gone through the roof, right? For you, like what have the effects of that been for you? Whether it's in your day to day, your work performance, your relationships, like what have the effects of all those changes been for you personally?
I mean, there is something to say about like, I mean, there's things that are I just didn't anticipate. Like I always knew, all right, if I look good, I'm gonna feel good, right? So, and that's my definition of what I think good would be for me and so on. And then having the energy levels and so on. Like, I don't think anybody, I feel like I underestimated the level of like feeling clean, great energy.
Mm,
And
mhm.
I mean, or just a mental clarity, and when it how it affects you at work or how it affects you in your relationships, winning arguments, like I mean, there's like so relationship building and so on. I mean, it all these things just started to get better and better and better. And of course, there's the compliments, and then that only gives us more confidence in everything we're doing. So, so yeah, I mean, there's a major change. It really does go hand in hand. Like some people say dress to impress, and there's a reason, there's a psychology behind that, and it's a very real thing. So now, like it's like I guess the less you dress and you still impress, that's like I don't know, that's a whole nother wave, So I look better in clothing. I get compliments all the time. I get asked, what am I doing? I'm offering, I'm being asked about, advice and so on and so forth. And I'm trying to share a lot of that information. I'm getting people excited. Um, it's great, it's great. It's great to see that it's beyond me at this point, right? So it's like it's it's inspiring to not it's more than me. So I guess that's how I can bottle it up.
Yeah, well, look, I'm not surprised at all to hear that the people close to you have been inspired around the transformation that you've made for yourself. One thing I want to ask you here, Jason, because I remember on our first call together 6 months ago, you talking about how big an issue sleep was for you.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I promised you, that we would really figure that out, that we would follow a data-driven process where we're tracking your sleep with the Whoop band. What has been the difference in your sleep quality pre-Alpha Body system to where you are now?
My sleep was really bad. It was probably like the number one thing that I thought like, okay, now I think I've lost control on. I think eating, we get it. There's a diet incorporate. We could always incorporate the diet, right? And then there's exercise. We can always incorporate a routine for exercise. But like for sleep, it just became such an abyss for me. So it's like
Mm,
I have no idea like how to get this structured or in order. And if I can guess the ideas, if I could read and read it and do everything online to figure out what it is, nothing is straightforward. And everything is just something that just doesn't agree with me for some. It just felt that way at least. So I think sleep is the biggest change and probably the biggest reward, in fact, because now not only do I have it in full control, but I'm able to like I mean, a lot of my results probably are owed to just me being able to get that in order. So the value of learning like how that actually feels and affects your body and your mental clarity and just everything in your life was just like such a revolutionary find for me.
mhm.
So yeah, I mean, that was a major takeaway. Like I think top three, that's like if I had to define it, it's that diet, of course, number one, exercise number two, and then sleep quality, hands down, number three, and not even necessarily as it's like not the priority. It's just they all are on that equal line of importance. Um,
Right.
and I think that that's what was big for me here for sure. Like that probably alone was worth it just to get control of that and understand that felt, yeah, filled in a big, huge gap.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, look, Jason, looking back on the past 6 months, you've created a life-changing fitness transformation. You've gained a ton of knowledge, you've built a ton of great habits, And I'm curious for you, like, if anyone is watching this and they're on the fence, they're considering alpha body system, wondering if it's going to be worth it for them, what advice or what words of wisdom would you have to share?
I honestly, if you continue to think, you're sacrifice doing. So some things you just have to like open that door and step through. Just do it. And the more, I mean, just no hesitation. Like you need to just straight do it so that it can actually get you in that flow, of turning your life around. Um, and that first step is difficult. Definitely is difficult, but and it's only difficult because you're thinking about it. So cut the thinking and do more doing.
There we go. Do more doing. Wise words here, Jason. Well, man, you've absolutely crushed it. Greg and I are absolutely stoked and thrilled for you. And really appreciate you taking the time today to share with the people your experience with the program with Alpha Body System and everything that you gained from it. So thank you.
Thank you guys. I mean, this was I didn't know what to expect out of this entire program. I knew what I wanted. So it's a really new feeling when you sign up for something to get something you want and you actually get it. And honestly, big huge thank you guys. I can't thank you enough for putting me on track like this.
Hey, man, that's what we're here for. That's what we promised you. We delivered, and it all worked because you showed up and you put the work in. So give yourself a lot of credit here.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Amazing. You're welcome. Well, Jason, thank you. We'll talk soon. All right.
Sounds good, man.
All right.
Cheers.
See you.